and conscious living, do those things mix, Peter?
If you're conscious while you're drinking it, and it's not conscious as in I am awake, because everybody walks around this planet hopefully awake. The problem is they're not conscious of what they're doing in every single moment. That's the conscious level we're talking about, that you're conscious of what you're doing. As in, you're conscious of what your hands are doing, you're conscious of what people are doing around you. How many times do you drive in a car and you get from A to B and can't remember the journey? You're not conscious of what you're doing at the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, why is that? I mean, some people say that, I read this book once, I don't know if you read this book.
Probably not.
Julian Jaynes, you know that guy?
No.
That really, that the history of humanity, and you can see evidence of it in ancient literature like Homer, for example, that we are getting more conscious as the human species over the centuries.
Maybe more intelligent. I don't think we've evolved consciously very much.
But there are people that are saying that we're in a particular time right now that is accelerating light that's coming to the planet in terms of awareness. So I do find, even in our language, and maybe get your take on what does conscious actually really mean. You know, we hear the word a lot. In each of the interviews so far, we've heard the word conscious or consciousness. And how do you describe it or define it?
My way of describing it would be living through that and living connected and through that place within us that has no age, has no gender, has no time, no space, no judgment, no criticism. But what it does have is a sense of peace. And it doesn't mean that you have to give up being human and having the human experience. It means that you are now, instead of being in the human experience and being attached to all your emotions, it's about observing the emotions without judgment and allowing them to flow through you and accepting exactly what's happening in that moment. So it's about being present. And too many of us live either in the past or in the future. And that's why, as you say, how come we're not living more consciously? It's because we're living through our past history. So every reaction to an experience comes from our history or our past and what we've experienced before and how it was for us before. So it was a bad experience the first time. The next time a similar experience comes up, we are then reacting through that past negative experience. Or we're worried about what may happen in the future. So if our fear comes up, it's about what might happen in the future. What a waste of energy, you know? I mean, we could put all that energy into living positive and having a joyful life. But instead, we are so worried about the future that we get to the end of the day and we're exhausted. And we don't even know why.
So how do people connect to that place, that timeless, boundless, open source?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is to let go of all the past crap, as I say, that has built up and built up. So when we're small children, what happens is we start to build a belief system, which is pretty much in place by the time we're 3 or 4 years old. Our first role models are our parents, and they love us so much that they want the best for us, but that doesn't mean that they're always doing the best for themselves. And so if they are not teaching us how to take care of ourselves, if they're looking for love in the world and not recognizing that it comes from within us, the happiness, the peace, the love, anything good that we want to feel is right inside us. But we don't all know that, so we teach what we know. And so as children, we observe our parents, we watch how they interact, we watch how they are in relationship, and we pick and choose the things that we think will work for us. Ooh, Daddy gets mad and he stomps his feet and yells and screams and he gets what he wants. So, you know, I think that might work for me, so I'm going to start doing that. So you have the 2-year-old temper tantrums, and sometimes they work. Or Mommy is giving the silent treatment. She just doesn't talk to you. She shuts you right off when she gets upset. I think that'll work for me. I'm going to try doing that. So we build up this belief system, and that belief system ends up creating the emotions, the thoughts, and everything that we attach to as we go through life. So it builds up and builds up. We suppress it because we're taught, don't cry, I'll give you something to cry about, or, it's not nice to be angry, whatever it is. The thing is, it's okay to feel the emotions. It's not okay to project them at someone else, but it's okay to feel them. And once we acknowledge them and we allow ourselves to be fully in it, we can then release it. When that is gone, what's left is that feeling of peace inside that is comfortable, safe, loving, compassionate, and that's how we can go out into the world.